Back at quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. So is Tony Hill back. He's caught 24 passes since he's been back in 3 games. As Tom Landry says, now we've got somebody who can scare the defense. For the Giants, Phil Simms is dealing with a hot hand. Last week against the Redskins, he threw for 339 yards. As 17 of his 18 completions went to his wide receivers. This one to Ernest Gray. As the Giants maul the Redskins, their biggest win in a long, long time. And the sideline celebration brought a rare smile to the face of head coach Bill Parcells. But as the Giants face the Cowboys today, it remains to be seen how long the smile will stay.
CBS Sports presents the National. Today, the New York Giants against the Dallas Cowboys.
We are live at sold-out Texas Stadium in Irving, Texas, the home of the Cowboys, who are tied for first place
in the NFC East with the Cardinals, a record of 6-3, and the Giants at 5-4, just 1 game behind the co-leader. Good afternoon. I'm Pat Summerall here with John Madden. The Giants haven't won here since Norm Snead was their quarterback. That was way back in 1974. Last week against the Redskins, they came up with a rather unusual offensive scheme. Do you think they'll do it again?
I think they will. I think they should. You know, they haven't been successful running this year. In fact, they've averaged 2.9 yards per carry, and that won't get it done anyplace. So last week, they went to 3 wide receivers, basically, and 1 running back. Phil Simms was hot, threw the ball all over the field, was very successful. I think they'll do the same thing again today, but I think that the Cowboys are going to blitz them a lot more than the Redskins did last week.
As far as the Cowboys are concerned, it's a rather sad situation. Tony Dorsett's father had a stroke Friday night, and Tony has missed the last 2 days of practice. He is back in Dallas. He will play, but with all that on his mind, you just got to wonder how effective he'll be. He is here, though, and he will play. What about the Cowboys and their quarterback controversy situation? Does it still exist?
Well, of course, it still exists. The Cowboys started the season with Gary Hogeboom at quarterback. They switched last week to Danny White. They won against Indianapolis, and Danny White's starting today. Now, Tom Landry says, you know, we really have a 2-quarterback system. He said, I don't like that, but that's what we are. And he said, we're going to play the quarterback that's doing the best. He said, now today, Danny White will start. He said, Hogeboom might come in, and then Danny White could come back again. And he said, that's the way it's going to be today, and that's the way it's going to be the rest of the season.
The Cowboys will kick off. Raphael Septien will get it done. Back deep for the Giants is Phil McConkey in the middle, number 80. Frank Cephas back there with him, along with Joe Morris. Septien's kickoff. It will be McConkey at the 3. McConkey still on his feet. McConkey with a good return outside the 30. Victor Scott made the tackle. Let's check the starting lineups. The offensive backs and receivers for the Giants. Phil Simms, the hot one at quarterback. Morris and Carpenter, the runners. Ernest Gray and Bobby Johnson, the wide receivers. Up front, Moat's the tight end. Benson, Ard, Belcher, Godfrey, and Carl Nelson. William Roberts is still out. Godfrey starts at guard. Benson moves over. Johnson swings in motion. Simms to Carpenter on first down over the left side. Got about 4. The defense. Ed Jones, John Dutton, Randy White, and Jim Jeffcoat up front. The Dallas linebackers, Hegman, Brunig, in spite of the bad back, playing in the middle and starting, and Anthony Dickerson outside. In the secondary, Everson Walls and Ron Fellows are the cornerbacks. Clinkscale and Downs are the safety men. 3 wide receivers now for the Giants on 2nd and 5 as Lionel Manuel has joined the others. Simms to throw. To Carpenter. Giant first down. Bob Brunig came out to cover him and make the tackle.
You know, the interesting thing about that, Pat, is last week, we're talking about Phil Simms having a hot day. He completed 18 passes, and they were all to receivers. 17 of them were to wide receivers, and 1 was to the tight end, Zeke Moat. He didn't throw a pass to a running back, and his first pass today is to the running back.
Now they go with the 3 wide receiver set up again as Byron Williams is in the game, and the Cowboys come in with their 4-0. Carpenter outside the 45 to about the 47 as Randy White trips him up.
I think that's one thing that they're going to want to get today is a lot of mixture. You know, the Giants want to not just let the Cowboys think they're going to pass every down, because that is the thing that they do the best. So the Cowboys are going to bring that 4-0 in when they think they're going to pass. Then they'd like to be in their regular defense when they think they're going to run. So it really is a chess game out there on all downs.
A lot of substituting going on. Line of scrimmage is the 47. First series of the game. Sims fakes, drops the throw. As his man Zeke Mowat right open as Dexter Clinkscale takes him out of bounds. Another Giant first down. They pick up 12. They move into Dallas territory.
Let's watch Zeke Mowat. Of course, he's a free agent tight end, second year. He's going to come out there to the right. There's a good play fake to Morris. See, he makes that fake there. Now watch Mowat. He's running an out pattern out there to the right there in front of Clinkscale. Makes a good move, catches the ball for a first down. It was interesting before the game. Zeke Mowat was out there, and he was asked and he wanted Tony Dorsett's autograph.
The Cowboys are expecting pass now. They come with that 4-0 defense, the extra defensive backs. The Giants do have 3 wide receivers. The draw play is taken down. It's Carpenter by Jeffcoat. Second and long.
Of course, the Cowboys only use that 4-0 defense. It was designed primarily to be a pass defense and used only on third down. And once in a while, they would use it on second and long. And now, of course, we see them using it on first down because they think the Giants are going to pass every down.
Second and 10 from the Cowboy 41. Byron Williams enters the game. Sims back to throw. Has time. Gets it out to Carpenter. And they'll get another first down as Bill Bates makes the stop on Carpenter.
This is an interesting start because they're using a 3 wide receiver, same formation they used last week, but instead of hitting the wide receivers, now this is the second one they've hit to a running back. We still see Bill Bates here, number 40, man-to-man on Rob Carpenter. He sneaked through and went out to the outside. But they've hit Rob Carpenter twice on this drive, and the tight end Zeke Mowat once.
First down at the Dallas 30. 2 running backs this time. Carpenter swings wide right. Jeffcoat chases. Anthony Dickerson also there, and they get him down after about a yard pickup.
Versus little Joe Morris. He was blocking that time for Carpenter. That's also a reversal. Last week we remember the job that Carpenter did blocking for Joe Morris, as Morris had 3 touchdowns. There's Joe Morris.
Joe's only about 5'7", but he did have a good day against the Redskins. Second and 8. Carpenter got 2.
Well, he has that one thing that the Giants have always needed. They have to get speed in their offense, and he's one of the guys that gives them that.
Again, mass substitutions on both sides. Sims is back to throw. Has time. Almost picked off by, it was intended for Bobby Johnson. It was Everson Walls who got the hand in there and almost picked it off.
I'll say this, that was real good coverage because the Cowboys didn't get a very big rush here. Watch Phil Sims. He has time. See, good pass protection. Look, he's looking to his left, looks to his right, has to come back. That's coming back to his right, to his second receiver. But really, everyone was covered. That was good coverage.
So that'll make it third down and 8.
It was also pretty good pass protection by the Giants.
Excellent. He had a lot of time. Billy Ard, by the way, is blocking Randy White most of the time. Cowboys fake a blitz. They didn't get back. Flags are down. The ball is batted away. But the Cowboys were offsides as they faked that blitz.
I'll tell you, that's the thing that I think they're going to face all day. You know, Tom Landry says the key to this game is Phil Sims. So we have to get after him. And usually when a coach says we have to get after him, he means he's going to blitz him.
Third and 3.
47 defense, offside, still third down.
A little too anxious. Gene Barth is the referee.
Yeah, Clinkscale was right up there in that gap between the center and the guard. He was trying to time it to hit it as a ball snap. Of course, he hit it a little before the ball was snapped.
Sims out of the spread formation. Tony Galbraith is in the backfield with it. A lot of time again. Incomplete. Intended for Bobby Johnson. Ron Fellows on the coverage. And Ali-Haji-Sheikh comes onto the scene. He's had a tough time. 6 out of 16 he had.
Yeah, he really has. And, you know, I remember talking to him last week, and he said, I think we finally got it straightened out. He said, I was jumping on the ball too much. And he said, I was really trying to hit it too hard instead of just hit it. I talked to Rafael Septien yesterday about Ali-Haji-Sheikh, and he said he thinks he's just pressing. He's trying too hard. He's not relaxed. Same thing Sheikh said.
From 40 yards out. Rutledge holding. Got it. Plenty of distance. Ali-Haji-Sheikh from 40 yards out puts the Giants on top first. They lead 3-0 in the first quarter. This stadium where the Giants have just gotten a 40-yard field goal from Ali-Haji-Sheikh and lead 3-0. And the Sheikh will kick off.
That field goal may have done a world of good for the Sheikh. You know, I think sometimes you press and you just need a little success.
Chuck McSwain will return this one for the Cowboys from his own 5, and he's out of attack. McSwain to the 37. 31-yard kickoff return by Chuck McSwain. Mark Haynes is the man who made the stop. Good return. Danny White, of course, will start at quarterback, as we told you. Tony Dorsett and Ron Springs, the runners. Mike Renfro and Tony Hill, the wide receivers. Up front, it's Cosby at tight end. Howard Richards at left tackle. Titensor in place of Herbert Scott at left guard. Rafferty's the center. Kirk Peterson, the right guard, and Bill Posterick at right tackle. Tony Hill split wide to the left. Hand off Springs inside. Springs gets nothing. Maybe a yard. Byron Hunt led the Giant defense along with Lawrence Taylor. Speaking of that defense, 3 up front. McGriff, Burt, the nose tackle, and Marshall is the other defensive end. The linebackers are Hunt, Reasons, Harry Carson, and Lawrence Taylor. In the secondary, Mark Haynes and Williams, the cornerbacks, Courier and Kennard, the 2 safeties. It'll be 2nd and 10 as Springs got nothing. Ball's at the 37-yard line of the Dallas Cowboys. Cosby shifts out of the backfield, flanks up on the right. They go with 2 tight ends. Here's Dorsett. Outside the 40 to the 42. Pick up about 5.
I think we're going to see a lot of that 2 tight end formation by the Cowboys. That's always been a way to attack Lawrence Taylor, is one you put a tight end on him. And the way they're starting out here, you put a tight end on Lawrence Taylor, and then that reduces him out to the outside, and then you run away from him.
3rd down and 6. Danny White, the quarterback. Timmy Newsom is in the backfield now with White. He operates out of the spread. Pass almost picked off by Lawrence Taylor. Flags are down, however. Duck Cosby was the intended receiver. Lawrence Taylor is upset.
Lawrence Taylor ran in there to say, hey, that's not a penalty on us. Then he thought, oh, I better not get too close where I touch anyone. Yeah, we're going to have a little conference there. That means they got more than one thing.
There was no interference on the play. The ball was tipped.
No interference on the play because the ball had been tipped.
Let's see if we can see the play. Now, usually on a pass, Lawrence Taylor's blitzing. Here he's on a coverage. We're going to see him there. You see, he tipped the ball. He tipped it with his left hand, and because he tipped it, now Kennard cannot be called for interference when he touched the receiver. That was a good call. They right on that stuff.
The conference paid off.
Well, see, Lawrence Taylor knew that he tipped the ball. That's why he was back there to argue. He said, you can't call interference. I got my hand on that ball.
Warren is kicking for the Cowboys. White gets a rest. This is Phil McConkey coming up to handle it at his own 22. Cowboys down quickly. Do a good job. McConkey gets out to about the 26. 37-yard punt by Warren. Giants take over at their own 27-yard line. They lead 3-0 on a 40-yard field goal by Haji-Sheikh. In the first quarter with 8.5 minutes left to play. That's the way the two offenses rank so far in 1984. Cowboys 7th overall, the Giants 11th overall. Giants have it first and 10, their own 27-yard line. 8:36 left to play first quarter. Joe Morris and Rob Carpenter in the backfield. Manuel in motion. Carpenter. Jet coat and Flintscale finally cuts him down. Let's check out some of the other scores around the NFL. Detroit leads Philadelphia 7-0. That's first quarter. Tampa Bay 7, Minnesota 0. First quarter. Pittsburgh 7, Houston 0. First quarter. 2nd and 8 here. It's 3-0 Giants. And we're also in the first quarter. Rob Carpenter is the lone setback behind Phil Simms. Cowboys faking blitz again. They don't come. Simms picked off momentarily by Downs, and then Zeke Mowat took it away from him. What a play by Mowat.
It looked like an interception. It looked like the Cowboys had it. The next thing you see, Mowat's running the other way with it. Watch this again. It's a 3 wide receivers plus 1 tight end. That's Mowat. He's going to go there in the post. Now, he does have double coverage. That was really forcing the ball in there. Look, and it was off Downs at the end. Clinkscale hit it first. Out of his hands, into Downs' hand, and finally to Mowat. That's the old triple dipper.
1st and 10, Giants at the Cowboy 43. The handoff is to Carpenter. He bounces to the outside, gets a couple. Ed Jones takes him down to the artificial surface. Here's Bill Parcells over on the sideline. His Giants are 5-4. Just a game out of first place in the tight NFC East. And on the other side, the very dapper Tom Landry.
I'll tell you, he doesn't like what he's seeing there. You know, the Giants, the first time they get the ball, drive it right down, boom, field goal. Second time, they're in the middle of a drive. But doggone, we got to get these guys stopped, man.
Simms, ball is loose. Now they say he was in the grasp. He was down. Bill Bates comes up with it. Mowat still chasing. No, it's Clinkscale. A little extra activity. Bill Bates is the man who put the rush on and caused the fumble.
You know what the rule here is, if Simms' hand is going forward, then it's an incomplete pass. If it's not going forward, then it's a fumble. Now watch here. We can see that it is going forward. He's hit from the side. The ball goes down. The fans are boomed. That's just an incomplete pass. I think the fact that Clinkscale picked it up and ran, and that Mowat chased him, you know, kind of got this crowd a little excited here, but no big deal.
It'll be 3rd and 9.
But that is what the Cowboys have to do. They have to put that type of rush on Phil Simms.
They're showing pressure again. Simms out of the spread. No flags. Ernest Gray tackled by Everson Walls. Short of the first down, but that may have got them in field goal range.
I don't know. From here, it'll be a 52-yard field goal. Well, it'll be a 51-yard field goal where they put the ball down there. Or it'll be fourth and about 1. Bill Parcells has an interesting call right here. I know what he's going to do. He's already going for it. You can see that. 4th down. He says, let's go.
That's unusual.
That is, but, you know, my decision would be either to go for the field goal or for this one. And I think, what the heck, my field goal kicker's not doing real well, and I would probably do the same thing, although Phil Simms wasn't sure of the play, and he just took a timeout.
I think Dallas took that timeout, John. They had too many people on the field. They couldn't get them off. Lionel Manuel came up with the completion. Everson Walls on the coverage, a 10-yard gain.
That's that organized scramble play, but it's from the shotgun. Watch, Sims gets here, runs out to the right. He has the center leading. See Kevin Belcher, 73. He leads him out there. Manuel does about a 10-yard out. Boom, whaps him right there. I'll tell you, when you call it on 4th down, this is what you go through. Yeah, I know we can do it, Coach.
6 out of 9 for Sims.
Those will make the stomach tighten up when you get too many of those 4th down calls.
Morris on the play that was so effective last week against Washington, the trap right up the middle.
Well, I think that Joe Morris is the type of back that is going to be effective in the second half. I don't think he's the type of running back that you pound to the defense. He's the type you open up with, wear him down a little, then you start using his quickness and speed in that second half.
Second down, about 6. There's Joe Morris. 3 touchdowns last week. Tied a team record shared by 4 or 5 others. Second down and 6. Sims back to throw. Jet coat on the rush. Pass is tipped away. Michael Downs got the hand on it. Boy, he's having a good year.
He is. Tom Landry was telling us last night about Michael Downs. He said that of all his defensive players, he's saying that he's been the best and most consistent player all year. We'll see this. Sims really does have a lot of confidence, and sometimes you can get so much confidence as we see Downs tip that ball that you try and put that ball in places that it can't go.
Bob Brunick got a hand on it first. He tipped it, then Downs tipped it, and then it fell into the end zone.
That's the second one of those double tippers. The last double tipper by the Cowboys resulted in Zeke Mowatt catching the ball.
Crowd coming to life. Sims coming out of the pocket, this time to his left. Lionel Manuel was open in the end zone. Sims just didn't quite get it to him. Fellows was on the coverage, but Manuel was open.
I'll tell you, this guy is really going to be something, this Lionel Manuel, before it's over, because he not only has speed, but he has the quickness. Watch him move that he puts here on Fellows. See, he gives him that out thing, like I'm going out, then he makes that quick move back up the field, and the ball was just up to, oh, that was a heck of a move, though.
He did that same thing in the first meeting.
For a touchdown.
Right. The Sheikh from 38 yards this time. Rutledge is holding. He's got it again. The Sheikh is back on track. He's 2 for 2 today. The Giants lead at 6-0. First quarter. 4:12 left to play. 38 yards. And he's about to kick off now. The Giants lead 6-0 with 4:12 remaining in the first quarter. It's going to be Chuck McSwain from his own 2. Got some room again, has McSwain. To the 35. Byron Hunt got him down, but McSwain has come up with 2 outstanding kickoff returns. That one was 32 yards. Cowboys take over. Chuck McSwain. Cowboys have had 1 offensive sequence, that's all. Danny White is their quarterback. 4 minutes left to play in the first quarter at Texas Stadium. The Giants lead at 6-0. Dorsett and Springs, the 2 running backs. Beg your pardon, now they only have 1 running back. Cosby moves. White. Screen to Dorsett, and he's got some room. Harry Carson finally made the stop. But not before Dorsett picks up 19 yards on the screen pass.
You know, it was interesting, Pat, in practice yesterday, when we watched the Cowboys practice their offense against the Giants, these are the only plays that they practice. They practice screens. Screens rights and screens left.
I still think, John, that they're one of the best screening teams in the league, don't you?
And as you say, you know, the reason, I think, is because they spent their whole practice yesterday just working on screen passes.
Dorsett drops the ball. The Giants have it. Gary Reasons fell on it. never found the handle.
That's one of the things when you pitch the ball, you know that you do have that problem. It's not quite as safe, but that's a good pitch. That pitch got there. Looked like it just hit Tony Dorsett right in the chest. He just couldn't get it. They're the Giants. They get in there, and Reasons comes up with it. Dorsett, of course, has had a problem in fumbling. Last week, he fumbled too.
So the Giants get the ball at their own 49-yard line. They lead 6-0 already. 3 left to play. Other scores. Detroit leads Philadelphia 7-3. Second quarter. Tampa Bay 7-3 over Minnesota, still in the first quarter. The Bears lead the Raiders 7-0 first quarter. Cleveland over Buffalo 3-0. Phil Simms. Dallas showing blitz again as Bates steps up in the line. Carpenter to run. Bates struggles with him. Victor Scott also involved, but Carpenter got about 5 yards.
You know, one interesting thing about the mixture here is that on 8 first downs so far this game, the Giants have yet to pass on first down. Looks like they want to run on that first down play and then come back on second down and go to the pass.
Which is just opposite what they did last week.
Yeah, I think what they have to do is mix. It's not a bad way to start, but I don't think you can do that all day against Cowboys.
Carpenter tries it again, and he'll have the first down as Randy White drags him down, but Carpenter had a good hold over the left side.
Right, and now it'll be interesting to see what they do here. This is the 9th first down. Let's see if they're going to throw or run it. Let's watch Billy Ard here against Randy White. I tell you, it looks like at the start of the game that Ard is doing a pretty good job on White. Now, White was stunning that way. It wasn't that Ard knocked him that way. White was starting that way, starting to his right. Ard took him that way, and then White came back underneath.
The Giants move to the Cowboy 39. First down. Another run on a draw play. John Dutton wrestles with Carpenter, but he still surges for about 5 more. Right now for an update, let's switch you back to New York. And here's Brent Musburger.
Had a long 87-yard drive by the Saints, and it was Wayne Wilson, his 4th touchdown of the season. And the Saints hold the lead right now on the Green Bay Packers 7-0. Let's go back to Pat.
Pat Summerall, John Madden at Texas Stadium, where the Giants are at the Cowboy 35. They lead 6-0 already. Simms to throw. Wide open is his tight end, Zeke Mowatt. Everson Walls on the stop, but Mowatt got a first down, and he's still down.
Looks like Mowatt was hit right on the knee as he was tackled there. Hey, this would be some blow to the Giants. They only have 2 tight ends, Zeke Mowatt and Tom Mulledy.
Mowatt, of course, is an excellent blocker and has developed into quite a pass receiver.
Yeah, we can see right here. You see, he's going to get hit right there. You see, he has his left knee planted. He has his left foot planted, and he got hit by Everson Walls right on the knee.
Mowatt has caught 3 passes for 47 yards so far, but he's still down as the Giants lead at 6-0. Got it off the field, so apparently he just got stung a little bit. First down, Giants at the Cowboy 29. Mulledy has replaced Mowatt. Morris gets to the outside, gets around the corner. Joe Morris. Michael Downs took him out of bounds, but Morris sweeps for a first down. 19-yard gain.
That's one thing that the Giants have needed. You know, a running back that can get to the outside. Now watch Morris. He starts inside. That brings the defense in, holds him, and then boom, he just pops it to the outside, and it's just a race between he and Michael Downs to the sideline there.
Carpenter got a good block out front again. Excuse me, John. First and goal for the 10. Scrambles for about 3. I know was hit at the line of scrimmage by Randy White. Couldn't keep him down. Michael Downs made sure. carries for 26 yards. Bill Parcells said yesterday when we were talking with him, an interesting thing I thought. Said he wasn't sure that this team was ready to be a contender. He didn't mean talent-wise. He just meant, I'm not sure they can handle it emotionally.
Well, you know, he's been talking about that, the ups and downs of this team. They'll get going, they'll win a game, and then everyone says, boy, we got a great team, and then next week they don't play as well. And he wants it, you know, every week to be a good team.
That's the end of the first quarter at Texas Stadium. Take a look at the first quarter statistics and look at that bottom one, that time of possession.
Look at those total yards.
Yeah. First downs, 8-1. Zeke Moat is back at tight end, by the way. Here's Joe Morris. And loses the ball. Cowboys get it. Dexter Clinkscale comes up with a loose football. Bullet.
They did. It's an interesting thing. I think the middle linebacker, Bob Brunig, was the first guy there. Watch number 53. He gets a good read and a jump. The minute he sees that play, he runs right into the hole. Now watch, Morris tries to put the ball away, and as Brunig hits him square, boom, the ball pops out. I'll tell you, that was a heck of a read by Brunig. Watch him. He's going to come right in that hole. That's the reason he's in there. Tom Landry says he has a bad back. He says we'll play Lockhart most of the game. Said we need Brunig in there to get our defense started. And he just did on that play.
Dorsett and Springs, the two runners, back in their own end zone. Handoff is to Springs, who gets outside the 5 to about the 7. Jim Burt made the stop.
I'll tell you, that's one of those type of plays that can really change a game. You know, the Giants are sky high. They have everything going. They're running, they're passing, they're doing everything. The Cowboys, they have their backs up. They're going down. Things aren't going well. Then boom, you get that big play. That can lift the Cowboys, maybe take a little out of the Giants.
Doug Donnelly has replaced Mike Renfro. That's the way Tom Landry gets the plays in, by shuffling those two back and forth. Two tight ends. Hand off to Springs. About the 9. Reasons on the stop. Right now for an NFL update, let's go back to Brent Musburger in New York.
Pat, Monty Clark has to be more creative with Billy Sims out, so watch this play. From the shotgun, the handoff to Jones. Danielson leaves as a receiver. Jones has got him, and the Lions have got their second touchdown against the Eagles. It is now 14-3. Back to Pat and John.
Here it's 6-0 as the Cowboys have just recovered a fumble by the Giants' Joe Morris. And it's 3rd and 4 at their own 9. Gets out of the end zone, manages to buy a little time. Casey Merrill came in and put the pressure on Danny White. Very nearly a safety.
I think the first guy there is Leonard Marshall, number 70. He did a spinner in there, and there's number 70 right there. He's the first guy that breaks through. He's the guy that makes Danny White originally put the ball down. Then he has to scramble.
So John Warren will have to punt. Excuse me, John.
Leonard Marshall, he ran one of those spinner moves where he started and he spun around his blocker.
Warren has punted one time, 37 yards. Standing right at the back of the end zone. High kick that McConkey will field at the 41-yard line. Shakes away from a couple of people. Carl Howard made the stop as McConkey had a 1-yard return after a 34-yard punt by Warren. And again, the Giants find themselves in good shape. They already lead 6-0 with 12:52 left to play in the first half.
Once he comes back inside now.
However, they're at the Dallas 40, leading 6-0. Lionel Manuel was the man in motion. Sims under pressure. Just throws the ball into the pack. And they're going to call him for intentional grounding.
Was going to be some kind of screen pass in here. See, he fakes to Carpenter, and now he's going to roll. No, it wasn't a screen pass. He was going to throw down the middle. There was just no one open. He just threw it in the middle of a big pile of linemen. Big piles of linemen don't count for anything. Big piles of linemen are penalties.
They lose the down, they lose 10 yards, so it'll make it 2nd and 20 back at midfield.
Like that. If nothing else works, just throw it into big piles of linemen and take the penalty.
It's the first time they've thrown on first down, or tried to. And off Morris. He gets away from Kunstgale. Picks up about 8. Ed Jones finally got him down. Right now for another NFL update, let's take you back to Brent Musburger in New York.
About an impressive performance by James Wilder of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He scored earlier from 6 and here from 2 yards out. The Bucs are dominating Minnesota right now. It's 14-3. Back to Pat.
Score here is 6-0. Giants over Dallas. 12:20 left to play first half. 3rd and 13. Sims out of the spread. Bat it down. Michael Downs.
It comes from the left side, the right side of the Cowboy defense. You see them, they start in the rush, they're bringing the full blitz on this one. And the guy who knocked it down was Michael Downs. That looked like one of those basketball things where, you know, the 2 guys goes up and 1 guy's going to stuff. In basketball, they call it rejection. That was a rejection. Downs rejected Sims.
Might be Pro Bowl time for Downs.
No foul on the play. It simply did not blow the whistle. Ready for play.
There's a new one. Even Dave Jennings is yelling at the referee.
Get in the game, he said.
Get in the game, yeah. I didn't blow the whistle. Ready for play.
Jennings' first punt. Barry Allen lets it bounce. The Giants are going to down it. No, it got away from them. And it'll come out. 43-yard punt. No return. They'll bring it back to the 20. They almost had it at about the 1-yard line, and it got away. Pete Shaw is the man down there fighting it. 6-0, the Giants over Dallas.
Scale comes from the inside, then Downs looping around, coming in that same hole. But look at how he got up in front of Phil Sims. I think that the Giants are going to see a lot of that blitz today.
They've already seen a bunch of it. They lead 6-0. They've had some chances, a lot of chances. That lead could be a lot bigger. On the 20. Dorsett cuts back. Dorsett still on his feet. Out to about the 29. Byron Hunt finally brought him down. Let's check out the scoreboard. New Orleans 7, Green Bay 3, second quarter. The Bears over the Raiders 14-0. That's in the second quarter. Peyton just scored. In fact, he scored them both. San Diego 10, Indianapolis 0, second quarter. And that exciting contest there, Cleveland and Buffalo 3-0.
If the Bears can hold up and beat the Raiders today, that'll give them a heck of a lot of confidence that they'll take through the whole year.
They've been playing great defense. White, Taylor's on a blitz. White gets rid of it to Cosby, and it's complete. They're saying it was a sack and that he was in the grasp. Leonard Marshall. Danny White is still down. Taylor and Marshall chased him. And Danny's still down.
I think Danny White was hurt on that one. He was hit, as you say, by both Lawrence Taylor and Leonard Marshall on that one. Tell you, he got rid of the ball. You know, the interesting thing about that play, here we'll see Lawrence Taylor coming from the outside. Cosby was a blocker, and then he went out and made the play. But watch him keep coming. There's Marshall on him. They get him going down. They get him the old high-low. I think where he was injured right there is number 70, Marshall, just falling down on him. He got up. His initial reaction was grabbing that left wrist.
They both fell on top of him.
Let's watch it again. Now, Cosby will come in here. See him, 84 as a blocker. He blocks. That's a fake run. Now he's going to work out there. He becomes the receiver. Watch Danny White. There's Marshall on him, quite low, and he gets it when he goes down.
Field, he's still being looked at by the doctors over on the back of the bench. In the meantime, Gary Hogeboom has come in at quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. And he comes in to face a 3rd and 9 situation. He had very little time to warm up. Operating out of the spread. Springs is wide open. Midfield. Kennard made the stop. Danny White still a little woozy.
As you say, Gary Hogeboom came in. He didn't have any time to warm up, but I think that he knew that he might play. Maybe he's a little more relaxed not being the starter, because he sure comes in there, finds Ron Springs right down the middle, and he really looked relaxed on that play. He wasn't forcing or tight or anything. Just come in, boom, boom, right down the field.
29-yard pickup. Cowboys move to midfield. Reverse coming. This is Donnelly with some room. Burt trips him up. Looked like they'd get more than that. Picked up about 5.
I'll tell you, that was a heck of a play by the nose tackle, Jim Burt, on that play, because Doug Donnelly really had a line out here, and if Burt doesn't make that play, it's going to be a big one. Watch your nose tackle, Jim Burt. The reverse starts to his right. Now watch, he stops, he sees it there. Now here comes Donnelly. Watch Burt. He doesn't go for it, Donnelly. He runs straight down the line, and makes the tackle there for a 5-yard gain. That's a heck of a play by a nose tackle.
2nd and 4, and Hogeboom loses the ball. Dallas got it back. Just fumbled the exchange from Rafferty. Danny White is up and walking around now, talking to Dr. Marvin Knight. 3rd and 5. Looks like some of the cobwebs might have disappeared now. Word on White is that he has a jammed left shoulder, and they're checking to see whether he can continue to play or not. Newsom was the man in motion. Hogeboom. Pass is complete to Timmy Newsom. First down, Cowboys. Byron Hunt on the stop. Just enough for a first down.
That was an interesting play there. They put Timmy Newsom out to the outside. He lined up. Watch, here's Timmy Newsom here. He lines up as a wide receiver. Then he starts in motion, comes up here, and runs to the out. Watch this. It's an interesting thing. He lined up there like that, an I formation outside. See him? Then he starts in motion, starts up the field. Now he knows how much he has for the first down. You see that red marker there? He runs just beyond that, runs the out pattern for the first down.
There's the Giant 39. Here's Dorsett looking for some room. Hit by Gary Reasons. Dorsett only got about a couple.
You know, when Tom Landry was telling us yesterday that he said, you know, we're going to start Danny White, but that doesn't mean that he's going to play the whole game. He said we could very well start Danny White, then bring in Hogeboom, go back to Danny White, and maybe even Hogeboom again. I don't think he was thinking of this, though, the shoulder injury to Danny White changing.
The doctor's still checking. On 2nd down, Hogeboom drops. Complete to Ron Springs. They only got a couple of yards, however. Lawrence Taylor on the stop.
You know, one interesting thing is we're saying how dangerous Tony Hill is. He's been back 3 games for the Cowboys, and he's caught 24 passes in those 3 games, but they haven't gone to him yet. And I think that before it's all over, he's going to be a pretty big part of this attack.
Tony Hill is wide to the right, being covered by Haynes. Renfro is split wide left. Out of sync is everything.
False start, 65 offense, penalty.
Here is Danny White, seemingly okay now. Throwing and talking to the medical people again.
You know, we've talked about things improving in the NFL over the years, and that's one thing that has really changed and improved is the medical attention that these players get. They have regular doctors, and so now it looks like, you know, he has his helmet, but he's going in. I think he's going in the locker room.
Probably for an x-ray, wouldn't you say? Right. Incomplete. Headed for Renfro. Harry Williams was back there with it. That turns out to be a good thing that the Cowboys brought in John Warren, because there goes their regular punter.
And they are. I'm sure they're going in and they're going to take an x-ray of that left shoulder of Danny White, and then they can take a look at it right away.
Warren standing back at about his own 45-yard line. McConkey at the 10 for the Giants, number 80. High kick that go into the end zone, and they'll bring it back to the 20. Warren really caught that one. 40-yard punt. They'll bring it back to the 20, so they only net 20. 6:21 left to play in the first half at Texas Stadium, and the Giants continue to lead the Cowboys by the score of 6. Washington Huskies meet the 18th-ranked USC Trojans. This game could decide which of those two Pac-10 powers receives a Rose Bowl berth. That's next Saturday, 3:30 Eastern Time, right here on CBS Sports. 6-0, the Giants over the Cowboys. Giants starting from their own 20-yard line. Phil Skins, the quarterback. Rob Carpenter is the lone setback. Fake to Carpenter. Lionel Manuel trying to get deep. Everson Walls was right with him. The old stop-and-go juke.
For number 86.
I think Billy Ard's doing a pretty good job in here against Randy White. Watch Randy White, number 54. We can see why Ard's doing a good job, because White is being double-teamed. He's having help from his center, Kevin Belcher. You see 73 come over, hit him, then Ard backs up, and they just take turns bumping Randy White. White sees a lot of that.
Oh, yeah. That's got to be frustrating. Double team all the time. Second down. Carpenter on the draw, and he's got no place to go. Jim Jeffcoat and Randy White converge.
I think Randy White took his frustration out on Billy Ard that time. Watch him. He's right here. Watch him jump out. He just hits Ard up underneath the shoulder pads, knocks him about 3 yards into the backfield, and then goes in and gets on Carpenter. That's the way you take on a guard in a pit. Just lift him up and knock him 3 yards back.
That'll get your attention, all right.
That'll clear the sinuses.
3rd and 13. The blitz is on. Downs is on Sims, and Sims is down. Nobody picked him up.
As I said, I think that's going to be a big part of today's game. One, how successful the blitz will be, and two, how successfully the Giants can pick up the blitz, because they're bringing a whole batch. Look at that left side. They're bringing so many guys. The guys in the white jerseys, the Cowboys, are fighting to find a hole to run into. They're bumping into each other trying to get in those gaps.
Jennings doesn't get it all. Gary Allen, he's got some room. Out of bounds. Giants, Frank Cephas got him out of bounds. 35-yard punt, 16-yard return. Cowboys take over deep in Giant territory at the 30. Next Sunday, doubleheader. The NFL today begins it, of course. New Orleans at Atlanta, Detroit, Washington, Philadelphia, Miami, San Francisco, and Cleveland. And the second game will be either the Giants at Tampa Bay and Dallas, St. Louis. They've changed the starting time on that game, so it's a late game. And John Madden and I will be there in St. Louis next week. Hogeboom is going to work on first down. Wide open is Tony Hill. Touchdown.
Before they started to go to Tony Hill. He's the guy, as Tom Landry said, he's the guy on our offense that scares the defense. Watch a little play fake to the right, turn back, find Tony Hill running a post pattern, and he's wide open. No one around him. He can get open.
He knows how. Septien with Hogeboom holding. Gives Dallas the lead. It's 7-6. They went 30 yards in that one play. It took the Cowboys 5 seconds. They get on top of the scoreboard. 7-6 they lead with 5:11 left to play first half. John Madden at Texas Stadium. Cowboys 7, Giants 6. That's the scoring drive, if you can call that a drive. Phil McConkey's in the middle, number 80. The oldest rookie in the NFL. From the goal line. Vince Albritton knocked him out of bounds. Here's the way the Eastern Division of the NFC stands right now and how tight it is. Dallas and St. Louis tied at 6-3. They play each other next week in St. Louis. The Giants just a game behind. Washington just a game behind. And Philadelphia 4-5, certainly not out of it. Now we get to the place in the season where every game's a big game.
And this is the time that the teams that are going to be in the playoffs, they start making their move. They start putting those 3- and 4-game winning streaks together here.
You have to do that. Sims to throw on first down. Incomplete. No flags. Byron Williams was the intended receiver. Rod Fellows on the coverage.
Byron Williams is complete.
It's funny, the Cowboys now have gone to that 4-0 defense darn near extensively in this game. That was a first down play. They were into 4-0 there. They very well could play the Giants the whole game in their 4-0 or in their pass defense the whole game. So you see who plays the middle linebacker, that's Bill Bates.
Bates and Thurman also come in. Carpenter is the lone setback for the Giants, and he gets the ball. Fights his way to the outside, gets to the 30, and they'll make it third down, however, as Bates and Jim Jeffcoat make the stop along with Randy White.
I'll tell you, Bates is one of those guys that just loves to be in on every tackle. Watch him now, he's taking on the center. He takes on Belcher there, plays off the center. So where is that ball? There it is. Let me see, is there a football down in here? I'll tell you, when they made up football and defensive guys and stuff, I think he's kind of the prototype of who they had in mind.
Really? He spent most of training camp on the injured list. He's only been back like 4 weeks now. But he hadn't lost the knack that he had. Third down. Incomplete, intended for Byron Williams, but good coverage by Downs and Victor Scott.
I'll tell you what Sims is complaining about is it looks like right here, he thought there was pass interference, but even before that, Bates knocked down Tony Galbraith. And he saw Galbraith go, and he saw him go down.
Jennings gets off a rocket, but they'll bring it back.
I'll tell you, here's what Phil Simms was complaining about. Watch number 40, Bill Bates. Tony Galbraith will come out there. You see him there? And he just knocks Galbraith, then he tries to trip him, then he finally goes down. I think that's who Simms wanted to throw to.
I think so.
And Simms was saying, hey, you can't do that. You can't knock the guys, trip them and stuff.
Line drive, good kick by Dave Jennings. Gary Allen gets it back to the Cowboy 35-yard line. 3:58 left to play in the first half. 7-6. Cowboys over the Giants. Remember, next week, the number one ranked Washington team, the Huskies, against number 18, USC Trojans. If Washington wins, they can clinch the Rose Bowl berth. Live 3:30 Eastern Time. There's a flag down on that last play. Gene Barth will tell us all about it.
Downfield on the kicking team. Penalty refused. First down.
First down, Cowboys. Their own 35. Hogeboom to Tony Hill was the only touchdown of the game. The first touchdown pass this year by Hogeboom to a wide receiver.
That was the first ball thrown to Tony Hill in this game and his first catch for it.
For Hill. Perry Williams, the defender. The crowd thought there was pass interference, but I think it was uncatchable.
It probably was, because Perry Williams did hit Tony Hill before the ball got there. That was one thing, Bill Parcells was telling us about Perry Williams. He said he has good speed. He said he can outrun the ball in the air. He said he has one problem. He has a little stiffness. He's not real quick on the brakes, and therefore he may come up with a lot of pass interference penalties.
But he is quick. Donnelly has replaced Renfro. Pitches back to Dorsett, and he's got some blockers. Dorsett out of bounds in front of the Dallas bench after a pickup of about 9. Mark Haynes knocked him out of bounds.
Last week the Giants had an interesting defense against the Redskins. They played Lawrence Taylor in the middle. They covered all the other linemen and had Lawrence Taylor as a middle linebacker roaming right and left, and it was very effective. Bill Parcells said, now we could do that a week ago because a running back was Riggins, and he couldn't outrun us to the corner. He said, we can't do that against the Cowboys because Tony Dorsett can outrun us to the corner.
He can outrun just about anybody to the corner. This is Ron Springs, who has the first down. The play was a little bit slow developing. It looked out of sync, but they still got the first.
Looked like Gary Hogeboom kind of tripped coming out of there. He was kind of fumbling around, and he finally got it out to Simms. Let's see if we can watch it here, but it did look like it started pulling. Now watch him. He kind of comes out there. Hogeboom, as he brought the ball back, darn near fumbled it. Then he had to just give it a push pass out there. Yep. Sometimes those things even work.
Springs did a heck of a job to get that first down. Dorsett right straight ahead for a couple. Not much room. Has to be a very difficult day for number 33. Father, as we said earlier, had a stroke Friday night, and Tony has missed the last 2 days of practice to be with his dad. Green Bay has taken the lead over New Orleans 10-7, second quarter. Detroit 17-6 over the Eagles. 14-10 Tampa Bay over Minnesota. 7-6 here. Fake. Hogeboom is out of the pocket to Cosby, who makes the stretching, leaping catch. Boy, if he'd been 6'5" instead of 6'6", he wouldn't have caught it.
That's why those quarterbacks like those big tight ends, because there's always going to be some traffic. Watch, this is a bootleg pass. Hogeboom fakes to the left, rolls out to the right. But look at Cosby. He is that 6'7" guy. He goes up there to about 7'2". That's Hogeboom. He said, go get him. We got that one. I think Terry Kennard, as he hit Doug Crosby at the end of that play. He was shaken up, and he's out of there now, and Larry Flowers is in at the free safety.
Terry Kennard's had a sore toe already. There was some doubt in Bill Parcells' mind as to whether he'd be able to play at all. Hogeboom looking, can't find anybody. Now he's going to take off with it himself. He takes an official down. He's knocked out of bounds.
Body's flying over there on that sideline. You know what it was? It was a screen pass. It was going to be a screen pass to Tony Dorsett to the right. And Tony Dorsett got caught up and couldn't get out there, so Hogeboom ended up having to keep the ball.
So now we have the 2-minute warning as Dallas leads 7-6. Minute 54 left to play in the first half. Cowboys leading 7-6. Giants have 2 field goals by Ali-Haji-Sheikh, and the Cowboys have a touchdown pass from Gary Hogeboom, who replaced the injured Danny White, to Tony Hill. Hogeboom running for his life. Penalty markers go down. Hogeboom still on his feet. Fred Cornwell catches the pass inside the 5-yard line, but this has got to be holding.
Yeah, it looked like the Giant players, when they saw those flags come down, thought it was a whistle. They kind of slowed up. Hogeboom kept going. It is holding against the Cowboys.
Holding, 65 offense. It'll still be second down after a 10-yard penalty.
That was a right guard, Kurt Peterson. And that could have been on Jim Burt, because Burt was running through there chasing the quarterback. Then that flag, they threw 2 flags right at him. It looked like the Giants kind of held up, thinking maybe that was a whistle.
Hogeboom scrambled out of there and got the ball down to Cornwell. Had it not been for the penalty, the Cowboys would have it first and goal. 22-yard gain wiped out. Clock is stopped with 1:43 left to play in the second quarter. It's 2nd and 19. Giants going with a 4-man rush front. Hogeboom. Tony Hill. Williams on the coverage. Flags are down again. And there's another holding penalty going to be called against the Cowboys.
And it was that right in that same area as the last one, thrown again by the referee. The referee is behind the quarterback. That's Gene Barth. Second holding penalty is called in a row.
63 offense, penalty refused. Third down.
That's the other offensive guard, Glenn Titansaw. Giants have refused that penalty.
Usually the guy that calls the holding is the umpire, the guy behind the defensive line. Now we had 2 in a row called by the referee. I think I would have taken that penalty and put him back another 10. Because they're very close to Raphael Septien's range here. All they have to get is about 5 more yards, and Septien is darn near automatic.
3rd and 19. Hogeboom will operate out of a spread. Here comes the Giant blitz. In the direction of Mike Renfro, but incomplete as the Giants really are putting some pressure on Hogeboom.
And I was surprised at that Cowboy play there because they had about 20 yards to go for a first down. I was surprised they just didn't try and pick up 5 or 6 and get in that field goal range for Septien. Because now they tried to throw the deeper pass, incomplete, and now they have to go for the punt.
Warren will stand just about at midfield.
I've been surprised a lot here. I was surprised they didn't take the penalty, surprised they wouldn't be. A lot of surprising stuff.
Warren angling for the corner. Nope. They'll bring it back to the 20. He just missed it. Dallas 7. Giants 6. Coming up at halftime, don't forget scores and highlights with Brent and Irv, the NFL Today, and Irv has his feature on Fast Company. A story about sprinters like Willie Gault and Ronaldo Nehemiah who have turned wide receivers and how they're doing.
I had one of those. You know, I had Cliff Branch with the Raiders who was a sprinter, but I've always felt that the big difference was if the guy was a football player who ran track, like Cliff Branch was, Herschel Walker was that type of guy, they're very successful. But it's tougher when you get a track man trying to play football, although Ronaldo Nehemiah's doing that.
Well, they had one here who could play and run. Bob Hayes.
And we both saw him before the game. He could stretch a defense.
Joe Morris, the ball carrier. Ed Jones made the stop. Clock running, 1:16 left to play in the first half. Giants have all of their timeouts left. Cowboys have 2.
Now here comes 5 substitutions in for the Cowboys, and of course that's at 4-0. They're going to play pass and probably cover on second down and blitz on third down. Looks like their pattern.
2nd and 9. Sims has a man open. Ernest Gray. Vince Albritton took him down. But the Giants got enough for a first down. Again, they have 2 timeouts remaining. Now they have 2 remaining. They just took one. While we have a minute, let's run down all the scores, everything we had. Get you up to date. Green Bay 10, New Orleans 7. Detroit 17, Philadelphia 6. That's at the half. Also at the half, it's Tampa Bay 14, Minnesota nothing. Minnesota 10, sorry. Chicago 14, the Raiders nothing. Bears continue to play good defense. San Diego 17, Indianapolis 7. Curtis McGriff being hauled to the locker room. Get a report on Curtis as soon as we can. And we still have no more on Danny White. He went in for x-rays, we're reasonably sure, after injuring his shoulder, but no further word. This telecast is presented by the authority of the National Football League. It's intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of the telecast without the express written consent of the Dallas Cowboys and the National Football League is prohibited. Giants at their own 35. Cowboys leading by a point, 7-6. Sims to Gray, complete and out of bounds. Good catch, good throw. Everson Walls on the coverage. 18-yard gain as the Giants move into Dallas territory.
I'll tell you, that was a heck of a catch here by Ernest Gray. I mean, he extended himself all the way. Now watch him here. He's running an out pattern right on here in the sidelines. But watch the balls here. Now watch how he gets all the way out with his hands. I'll tell you, just stops the ball. Whap! Right there.
Perfect throw. First down, Giants. The Cowboy 48. 39 seconds left to play in the first half. Both teams still with 2 timeouts remaining. Sims in that rollout again. Got some Giants in his face and finally just throws it out of bounds. Good coverage. Good coverage by the Cowboys. Curtis McGriff has back spasms.
Watch Lionel Manuel there. He was the guy he was trying to throw to. He was double covered, and he fell down. You see, and he just kept working, but there was nothing he could get. But the reason the Sims had to throw to Manuel is he was sprinting out that way. He was sprinting out to the left, and he was his only receiver there in the sideline.
That'll make it 2nd and 10. Still at the 48. Cowboys short and blitz. Sims waiting to his wide receivers. They don't just show it, they do it. Incomplete. Lionel Manuel was the intended receiver.
I think that there was probably some kind of audible because they had both Ernest Gray and Lionel Manuel in the same area. This is what the Giants are going to have to pick up. Look at that all-out blitz. They're bringing four extra guys, 4 defensive backs in there, and they're putting a big push on Simmons. Now watch. You see, they have the 2 receivers right here in the same area. So someone had to be wrong.
That'll bring up a 3rd down situation. 3rd and 10.
The Cowboys are doing in those blitzes. They're bringing their 4 linemen plus 4 linebackers, bringing a total of 8.
This time they back off. Sims to Gray, incomplete. There's a penalty marker down. Everson Walls on the coverage, but a flag is down. Going to be holding against the Giants this time. 23 seconds remain.
63 offense, holding, penalty refused, fourth down.
Dallas refuses the penalty, and it'll make a fourth down, and Dave Jennings will come on. Giants now 0 for 7 on third down conversion. Sims started off hot, but has had problems of late. Gary Allen is back deep. Dave Jennings to kick. Decide not to handle it. It goes out of bounds with 15 seconds remaining. 30-yard punt by Jennings, 30-yard net by Jennings.
One thing in this game, both teams have been moving the ball. They've been going up and down the field, and there's only been one touchdown scored in this first half. Cowboys lead 7-6 after all that offense by the Giants.
Remind you again, that's coming up at halftime. Scores and highlights with Britton Irv. Irv's feature on Fast Company. First and 10, 15 seconds left to play. Cowboys ball at their own 18. They'll probably just run it down. Hand off to Springs, and that should do it for the first half. Harry Carson on the bottom of the pile, along with Jim and company. Springs the ball carrier. That's the end of the first half. Cowboys headed for the locker room, as of course will the Giants. Dallas leading the Giants 7-6 in a strange game so far. As John Madden was pointing out, there's been a lot of offense, but not many points. 7-6 they lead. That's Tom Rafferty, the offensive center, who is being helped off the field. 7-6, Dallas over the Giants.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Pontiac. Cars built with a feel for the road. Pontiac, we build excitement. The Travelers and its independent professional agents and brokers, where fairness is good business. And by the new Michelin XA4 all-season radio. Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires.
Those teams we're watching today could use a little more speed in the backfield, couldn't they? And, you know, running for daylight, the old battle cry of the Green Bay Packers during the Vince Lombardi era, it's a lot easier if you're a world-class sprinter with speed to burn. But as Irv now tells us, when a medal-winning Olympic star trades in his truck shoes for a pair of football cleats, he enters a brave new world of Fast Company where speed must compete against other formidable skills.
A trackman's legs can earn him fame as a sprinter, but his speed doesn't guarantee him success as a pro receiver. The Jet Slam Jones won the gold at Montreal and is just now making strides after a rough start. For Ram rookie Ron Brown, a gold medal winner in L.A., and for the Bears' Willie Gault, the transition from track to football has been a smoother one.
Being a sprinter doesn't necessarily mean you're a football player. To convert sprinting to football is a very difficult task, and if you don't have 4 years of college experience or high school experience, it's very hard to just come right into it and do it.
From out of the blocks to the tape, the sprinter and hurdler concentrate all their energies into a straight line. A race demands all the straight-ahead power they can command. The track athlete can become conditioned to one style of straight-ahead running. The question is, can he adapt this kind of speed to the football field?
I had doubts. A world-class sprinter at that time had gone in the ball, but they never had made it as big.
Hayes set a world record for the 100-meter dash in Tokyo, then split out wide in Dallas.
When you use your speed, it's more or less only longer passing plays or the bomb or the fly routes or what have you. And then I just don't think that a wide receiver or a fast guy could run top full speed and catch a pass. I think there's somewhere or another you got to control yourself and gather yourself to bring that ball in.
The most important thing is to control that speed and utilize it in a framework where it suits the person that's running.
Earl McCullough passed up the Mexico City Olympics to sign with the Detroit Lions.
Every time a guy lines up opposite a guy that's got speed, oh, he might go deep. Well, that's what you want to put into his mind. But don't overutilize it. Show him something different. Change him up. Lull him to sleep. Then use it.
But for every Hayes and McCullough who made it, there were many who did not. Tommy Smith, John Carlos, and Jimmy Hines all won Olympic gold but could not cut it in the NFL. In 1961, Frank Budd became the world's fastest human and was signed by the Eagles.
It was a matter of retraining the body all over again.
I was trying to run all of my patterns at full speed, and you can't do that. And it took a while to find out that at what speed I could make that sharp cut and then use the speed once I'd made the cut.
Like Bud, the current record holder in the high hurdles also went directly to pro ball.
I'm realizing that 4 years that I missed not playing in college really hurt me in my first 2 years. And I think my first 2 years basically was a crash course in the NFL. Well, everyone envisioned me going 50, 60 yards at a crack. I just never knew how to control that speed. In hurdling, there was never any control. You never left anything behind. So when I had to run a route, I tried to run it as fast as I could, and I could beat a defensive back, but by the time I regained my body control, he had me covered. And Coach Walsh, I guess for 2 years now, has been trying to get me to be a little bit more familiar to how to use my speed, how to control my speed, disguise it, look as if I'm running full speed, but still having a lot left.
Didn't somebody draft Carl Lewis?
Yeah, the Dallas Cowboys drafted him. Of course, he has great speed, but, you know, he said he'd like to play pro ball, but if he did, he would have to take a pay cut. You know?
Let's get everybody the scoreboard down up to date with some highlights. 10-10. Packers and the Saints are tied, and the Saints kicked a field goal just at the end of the first half to tie it. Wayne Wilson, not Rogers, not Campbell. It has been Wilson who has been the leading ball carrier for the Saints so far. This is a 36-yard run and set up his first touchdown, and Wilson kept it himself. He's a very durable running back. It was 7-0, and here's what George Rogers did.
Had a tough day. Rogers is normally a pretty sure-handed running back. Here he bobbles the pitch here from Todd, and Tom Flynn, Green Bay recovers.
Now, Irv, I know you make a case for Ozzie Newsome being the best tight end in all of football, but I'll tell you, I'll put this man up against him. Look at Paul Kaufman. Beat the two safeties, battle his way into the end zone.
My second choice.
All right. Tampa Bay and Minnesota right now, very close, 14-10. The Vikings have come back to score a touchdown. Call Bud soon. Folks, if you do, he'll be out hunting or fishing. I guarantee you that. James Wilder. He's John McKay's O.J. Simpson, whatever you will, the eye back, and I'll tell you what, no shortage of work for Wilder. He scores once, and John says, give it to him again, and so here he comes now from the 2-yard line, and then finally, well, take a look at this next player.
The Vikings get in with Steve Jordan at tight end, number 83, who was their Iron Man. Remember, he won that competition last summer, 4-yard reverse.
All right, now, updating the story in Soldier Field in Chicago. A 44-yard field goal by Barr has just got them on the scoreboard. The Bears have dominated. Listen to the defensive stats. 5 sacks, 2 interceptions, 1 fumble recovery, 2 quarterbacks knocked out of commission. And Wilson has come back, but Hum has gone to the locker room. On the field goal that they just kicked, Wilson could not hold it out there. They had to use Ray Guy, but of course the punters frequently hold during practice, so no problem there. We'll have more scores and highlights after these messages from your local stations. Don't forget some late news. First of all, this score's been with us for a time now. San Diego is still ahead in its AFC game, 17-7 over Indianapolis. But look, the Philadelphia Eagles have just struck. Ron Jaworski has just hit Mike Quick 68 yards for the touchdown. They still have not even attempted the extra point. That'll make Marion Campbell feel good. But this was lousy tackling by the Eagles here.
This, I'm sure, upset him. Marion's a great defensive coach. 1 missed tackle, 2 missed tackles. You have to put that shoulder in there and bring him down.
Now, Monty Clark has to open up. Billy Sims is out, so first here he is throwing to James Jones. Then he'll come back with the razzle-dazzle out of the shotgun. This is a beautiful play. They'll hand the ball to Jones. Now, watch Danielson come out 16. Nobody picks him up. The linebacker's gone to the other side. Jones just does get the dying quail off. And I'll tell you, he runs pretty good for a quarterback, folks. And this just moments ago, Jaworski back to his favorite receiver at midfield. And if Quick gets a step, say goodbye. It's Quick 6 for the Philadelphia Eagles, his 6th touchdown of the season, and the extra point is good. It is now 17-13 Lions with the lead in the third quarter. Buffalo over Cleveland, 7-6, bad weather conditions. Pittsburgh now shutting out Houston 21-0. Malone is thrown for 2 and run for the third. The Giants of the Dallas Cowboys. Those of you who have watched it know the Giants have wasted too many opportunities. Those of you who just came inside, here's what you might have missed early in the going. Tony Dorsett will take a pitch out. And Tom Landry had to be serious with the way things were going with his offense early.
Well, in the first quarter, the Giants totally dominated the game, and he had to be concerned about how he was going to get that ball moving.
Here was the key play. Watch Bob Bruni come over, and he sticks Joe Morris right there. And on the turnover, they came out, but then an injury for the Cowboys early.
Big play. Lawrence Taylor and Leonard Marshall taking down Danny White. And, of course, Hogeboom came in to replace him.
And this was the result. Hogeboom, off the play action with time, had Tony Hill down the middle. He was all alone, and, of course, that was the Cowboys' touchdown. And I'm sure Pat and John will have more on the action that unfolded in the first half. So let's go back to Pat now. Pat?
Dallas leads the New York Giants at the half here at Texas Stadium by the score of 7-6. This has been quite a weekend here in Dallas, as the Cowboys have celebrated their 25th anniversary. They had a big dinner here Friday night to name their all-time team, and they've just been introduced to the crowd here at the stadium. This happened just a little while ago. Drew Pearson was one of the wide receivers, along with Bob Hayes, and when Drew was introduced, Roger Staubach threw him a pass. Drew always had those good hands.
I know, he looked pretty good, didn't he? He just caught that ball, tucked it under his arm, and ran up to his stand.
Now watch what happens when he tosses it to Billy Joe Dupree, who's standing behind him.
Drew Pearson looks like he could still play. Billy Joe says, boy, thank goodness I'm retired. I wouldn't want to do that in the end zone in a game.
That could be why he retired. Getting back to more serious matters, how do you see the second half developing?
Well, what I think is, I really think it's a story of the blitz. I think that the Giants, if they're going to be successful, they have to be able in the second half to handle that Cowboy blitz. I think the Cowboys, if they're going to be successful moving the ball, whether it be with Danny White or Gary Hogeboom, I think they have to get the ball to Tony Hill. In the first half, they threw one pass to him, one completion, one touchdown.
Danny White, by the way, did start, hurt his shoulder, and was replaced by Gary Hogeboom, who threw the touchdown pass. Here's the injury to Danny White.
Well, we see what happens here. Lawrence Taylor is coming from the backside along with Leonard Marshall, and they both fall on him. And it looks like they took him into the locker room to x-ray his left shoulder, and we haven't heard the results of the x-ray yet.
Well, he did come back. He was the punter on the all-time Cowboy team.